It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 218. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, announcing Final Fantasy XIV Pusheen iMessage animated stickers. Letter from the Producer Live Part 61 Digest released. Final Fantasy XIV fan kit updated. The Feast Season 17 results are in. Starlight Celebration has begun. Presenting new optional items and a winter sale. Invite friends back with the Callback Campaign. Patch 5.4 notes and developers blog. But first, let's shoot the shit. Hey, Ruby.
Word up, Yelta.
Word up.
I'm taking it back. It's old school. It's old school. Word up. White men can't jump. I don't know.
God.
Something else 90s. I don't know. My cousin Vinny. How are you? I'm good.
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Apparently I'm a Blockbuster Video. I'm doing fine. I also got all like sinusy and snotty in the like 30 seconds between us saying we're going to start the podcast and you doing this. So that's lovely. Thanks, allergies, for coming out of nowhere and smacking me upside the head. No, things are great. Patch 5.4 is here, and I've been playing a lot of it. It's been a couple of weeks, listeners, because one thing after another, and then it's the holidays, and we're like, if we don't get this shit done before Christmas Eve, we ain't never getting this done. So it's Christmas Eve, and we're knocking this out.
It's the day before the night before Christmas.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. My son still says Halloween, Halloween. So apparently he's going to be a Nightmare Before Christmas fan whenever we get to that. But we haven't gotten that far yet. So yeah, things are lovely. It's that time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year. And I've been playing a lot of patch 5.4. I want to give a shout out, really, a rest in power to Smooth Rock, who was with us for a very short period of time before Smooth Rock was patched out. So rest in power, Smooth Rock. We'll always miss you, along with Sky Bear and Heck in the Bed and
I missed Smooth Rock. You had to explain it to me before the episode. Somehow I was oblivious to that one.
Yeah, the Legend of Smooth Rock, the piece of rock that was not textured, that was just one big polygon, and it was worshipped for a very short period of time. It's just funny the things that this game will come up with, like the Great Gubu Wall and things of that nature. We've made our own lore. And I would not be surprised to see Smooth Rock appear in something that Koji writes in 6.0 or 7.0 or, you know.
He pays attention. They definitely
attention.
pay attention to when we do these things, and it has made it into actual game text before.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, it's been fun. 5.4 has been fun. It's even provided memes. So things are good. I did a lot of patch stuff. We'll talk about that. I'll save all that for when we talk about the actual patch. I feel that the patch is 4 major parts, and I was able to experience all 4. And then there's just some side stuff till we get more weapons and things of that nature. And I also did Starlight, and Starlight was good. It was long. But we'll talk about Starlight. I can save my Starlight for when we talk about Starlight as well. That's in the notes for tonight. And beyond that, other games. I was still screwing with my Commodore 64 Mini. I think I finally got that to a place I wanted to. I was messing with the 7 Cities of Gold for some time. It's a 2-disc game, and there's this thing you have to do for swapping the disc to make it work or whatever. And, if you're into that kind of thing, holler at me. I will help you through that process. But if you're not, which most people aren't, I have nothing for you. I make these little gadgets with some offbeat hope that future generations will load it up and read some of the things, but it'll probably end up in a garbage heap in 50 years and no one will remember me. It's all over for me. But, until that point comes, I'm just going to keep fucking with this little Commodore 64. And I also, my Star Wars love has been rekindled. I have been a Mandalorian fan for a hot minute, and season 2 has been in full swing, and we got the season finale, and I'm not going to say any more about it because
Yelta isn't caught up yet.
Isn't caught up yet, but I was just I love hallways. I love hallways. It's such a good time. And I got to watch it with my son, so that was pretty cool too, because he got to see some cool shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Yelta, what'd you do this past couple of weeks?
Kind of like you. I did the patch. I did all the things in the patch pretty much. I didn't go into Savage. The Free Company did carry me through the EX on Friday night. I had no idea what was going on. I need to get back in there and actually learn the fight. But I did get my White Mage Cane out of there. That was very nice. So thank you to all of them.
Do you like the look?
Huh? It's
Do you
ugly.
like how it looks?
It's
That's
gross.
Ugly.
I don't
Does
like
it
any
glow
of them.
green?
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't look
Just
at it
kinda
that
shiny
closely. I'm
green?
like,
Oh, okay.
nope. I tried a bunch of them on at the when the patch first came out, because you can go to the vendor, of course, and you can try them all on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't like any of these. So it's just a stat stick. I haven't glamored over it yet. I'm running around as a little Christmassy Lalafell. I got like the cone, that cone hat. That's the Christmassy one.
A sugarloaf hat. I love sugarloaf
Yes, I got that one on with all the Christmassy one, and I've got the little red Santy robe on. Got Starlight tights dyed green to match the hat. I forgot that they dyed. They dyed pretty cute. And then just some little, I think I used also the Starlight boots. So it's not a very creative. I did notice about half the Free Companies decided to do a black Christmas. They were all in black that night, I think. Pretty much I was like, me and like one other person had any color at all. So there must be a meme going on. I don't know. I'm too old. I don't know what those people are doing.
You're so lame.
What?
I said you're so lame.
I am.
You're not hip like the kids.
I'm not hip like the kids. Yeah, I just did weekly stuff. I logged in a couple times this week, did the Starlight event. I capped and did my Eden normal. But I don't even know what I want to gear up, because I bought all the like bottleneck items like that first couple days after the patch. And Beldandy crafted me up the whole high quality healer set, and I don't usually play enough to play other jobs, so I don't know. Maybe I'll gear up my black mage, or at least casting would be like the next most likely. So maybe I'll start working on casting gear. But that, I think we'll talk more about the specific patch stuff when we talk about the notes, I guess. So we can just move on, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, you can shoot the shit with us. Oh yeah.
I forgot. I have a shout out to a group from Famfrit that when I did E11 this past week, they shouted at me and I was scared and I thought I did something wrong. But they gave me first choice in the loot. It was so beautiful.
They were just like, they were all together and they're just
they were all together. And they had already ran it, or somebody in the group wanted something else, and they got the high lot on it already. I don't know. But they were just like, Ruby, what do you want? And I said, hands. And they said, here you go. So,
nice.
Shout out, Famfrit group. Okay, we can continue the show, but that was on my conscience. I had to get that out. Nice.
I know that when I get like 6 commendations on a run, I'm like, those people must have been together, because I didn't feel
for
that
sure.
good. Yeah, it's nice when you get a group that are just like...
For you, it probably was your healing. For me, they did all give me the commendations, and I know it wasn't for my great Bahammating, my great dotting of mobs.
Your great dotting of Bahamut. Mm-hmm. All right, if anybody wants to, then come to the website. Try to break up the ads for wallpaper or whatever it's been lately. You can leave us a comment at www.gtffxiv.com. First round is news. I love and hate this one. I don't use iMessenger or whatever this is. iMessage. Mm-hmm. When they make them into line stickers, I'll be happier. But they are these Pusheen. Is it Pusheen?
Yeah.
They are adorable. I have other Pusheen stickers on my line chat, but the stickers are so cute. 99 cents. There's like a little Moogle cat and Oh my gosh. These are really cute.
Yeah. We have some Pusheen plushes in the house. They're super cute and super fluffy. The one we have is a very nice pillow and gets a lot of love. But we also have the Goo pillow that gets a lot of love around here. So, we have our own Pusheen Final Fantasy XIV crossover happening here in my household. But I think these are freaking adorable. I guess I understand because it's purchasable and it's a brand name. I wish there was a more widespread use of these, or for a limited time, these also appear in game or something, because they have the sticker stuff, right?
Yeah, well, that would be cool if they were stickers. I don't care about the stickers on the screenshot thing, but it would be cool if they were there.
Yeah, wouldn't it be neat if there was quarterly or patchly, there was a different set of stickers that you could use or something. That'd probably piss people off. They'd be like, I want this all the way around or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe there's some fun things they could do. But with the new sticker stuff in the G-Pose, it would be a pretty neat place to stick this. Anyway.
It's not a bad idea. All right, Letter from the Producer Live, Part 61 Digest was released. We already covered the letter, but they've again put it in the nice form. Of course, we've all played all this. Oh, I didn't do any ocean fishing. I take it back. I did not do the entire patch.
Uh-oh.
Well, but yeah, they did a nice job putting together the whole thing here in a nice digest form. So they did update the fan kit. Oh, I think I remember being surprised when I saw it. I was like, ooh, these are kind of cool. Oh, yeah, it was the stream stuff.
Right,
Twitch
for
stream.
OBS.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're actually pretty nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. If you're a streamer and you use this setup, this is a pretty nice kit. Overlays and such. Pretty sweet. Shadowbringers-y, purpley.
Mm-hmm. Very much the Shadowbringers art in there, but that makes sense. And then Feast Season 17 results are in, and I don't know, some people won. Where are the results? I have to look at the rewards. I have to look at the rewards again. What are they? Oh, it's the same armor. Are they ever going to do anything different? Oh, then the top 100 got the mount on a data center. This all seems very the samey. They don't really...
Well, the thing they can do different is get rid of the feast. And
I know.
It's a little rumored, Yelta.
Yeah,
it's a little. There was a translation. I'm trying to find it in the notes that I had posted in our own Discord, but there was a translated interview that Yoshida is not super happy with the way the feast is now, and there might be some changes or kicking around the ideas of some changes. I don't know if they would outright get rid of the feast, but the front lines have had its own set of changes, and they don't necessarily get rid of a mode, but they kind of phase it out. It just sort of disappears. So I would not be surprised to see some feast modes get taken out. And I did find that translation. This was a post, and it says, the question, speaking of PvP content, I would like to ask about future PvP content. It's been about a year since Onsal Haker, that's that other mode in Feast. Do you have any plans? Yoshi P, we have plans, but my apologies, I can't speak of them yet. However, I'm thinking of something a bit more casual for small player counts. Question, content for small player numbers? Yoshi P, Feast is really serious. So even though it is content for a small number of people, we are trying to create something that could be played more casually and satisfy and he uses the word, and I don't speak Japanese, but says, which I'm not familiar with, but it means gameplay challenge or /speed run. So create something that could be more casual and satisfy the gameplay challenge crowd, but it's still being worked on. So please wait for a time when I can properly talk about it. So there's some changes coming up. There's some things that they want to do differently. And Yelta, we talked about it earlier, and you've shared it on the podcast many times before about, the time that you accidentally went into the wrong feast mode and you were quickly told that you were in the wrong
I had
feast
no business
mode.
being there, and they were mad that I was fucking with their score or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
It was unpleasant and turned me off instantly. Now, I don't like PvP to begin with, but it was not
This is
obvious
over a
to me
year
that
ago. This might be over 2 years ago now.
This was multiple years ago, yeah.
So I don't know how high the bar has, been upped. Maybe it's been lowered a little bit, but I seriously doubt it, because I think what Yoshida's saying there is the seriousness is, look, if you're in the feast and you're good at the feast, you're in a niche market for 14. You can't just waltz into the feast and just become a badass overnight. I think it's a very niche kind of thing. So there needs to be another mode that you can feel that you can get into. I've talked about it till I was blue in the face, is Hutball and things from Star Wars, The Old Republic, and you could just jump into that, and it didn't really even matter about your job. I mean, it did to some degree, because the healers could buff themselves and try to kind of make it through by brute force or whatever, or a tank could do the same thing, but there were some kits that, you could stop other people or bind them and things. And there's other ways you can play that didn't necessarily have to deal with the Holy Trinity. But till they find that thing, I don't know. They might have to hire somebody who is going to just run a PvP department. And that might be the key that they need to get a good, solid, committed PvP mode. That's fun. I just want something fast and fun. That's all. Yeah. Fast to get into and fast to get out of.
Well, like I've said many times, I do not enjoy PvP, but I've been playing other games where, you're getting hunted or killed, or there are other players getting you. But really what makes them painless is even if I die, I get rewards and I get back in really fast. And I think, I haven't played 14's PvP again in so long now that it's I don't even remember what it's like, to be completely honest.
Yeah. The newest Frontlines was very fun to me. It seemed like it took the best elements from all of the other Frontlines and put them into one mode. And I really liked it. What I just don't like about PvP in Final Fantasy is how long it takes to get into a match, how inconsistent it is, what day. There could be some days it's popping like crazy and some days it's not. And I don't want to have to make it some kind of thing I have to play on Monday nights because that's the night everybody plays PvP.
People do.
It's just, I want to, for me, this is my expectation, Yoshida can take it or leave it, is PvP for a game like Final Fantasy XIV should be a very tertiary, very it's a low tier type thing. It can be fun. It can be rewarding. This niche stuff like the Feast, I'm sure it's its own monster. But what I'm looking for is something that is going to pop fast because I'm doing other shit and I want to be able to pop in and out of something in the meantime. Gives me some sort of benefit in the real world, whether it's XP or a number of tomes or something like that. And it needs to be fast when I'm in there because I don't want to be in there for 30 minutes. I want to be in there for 10 minutes. And it needs to be fun when I'm in there, fast-paced. And then I get out. And then I do it a couple more times before I wait for something else that I want to get into or whatever. But that's what I want. Well,
I really haven't played much since they made it so you can only take 4 people in with you. And I know why they did it, but it's I don't feel like I want to throw a free company night for me and 3 other people.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Something obviously needs to be done. Even these serious PvPers, I don't think like it the way it is. So, but anyway, that's not really the point. The point is they just wrapped up another season.
They're continuing with the same old shit for another season.
It needs something though. It needs a refreshing. It needs a something. So, all right. We also talked about the Starlight Celebration. We both did the event. It's cute. It's not terribly long. It started on the 14th of December, and it ends on December 31st. It starts in Gridania, and I only got the mount. I never went and got a tree. I don't even know where that comes from. I should probably go back in there and look for it.
Purchasable. Everything else, the 3 items on the right are purchasable with guild.
Okay. I think I need a couple of these trees. I don't really care about the partitions but
yeah. Well, the quest itself was longer than I expected. This little opening of the box, chopping it up, and then like by the second one, I was like, this is kind of annoying because I see where this is going. As I pop the fireworks, I see where this is going. So I felt like it was a little longer than it needed to be, but I still got like it told the story well enough, and I thought the story was really good, and I liked the snowman aspect of it, and it was the same kind of cheesiness that I come to expect from a Starlight Celebration event. I like the Lalafell well enough, and I like the mount a lot. I think the mount is fucking awesome.
Oh my god!
In walk you don't pop out of it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat to see it like just kind of bouncing around like without you popping out. As a hewer, I'm like coming out of the head. Like I popped the head. I'm coming out of the middle part, and I got the head in my hands. And I don't know what it looks like on a Lalafell. I don't know if you're coming out the nose hole or what on a Lala.
It is a cute mount. I don't know how much I'll use it, but right now it's kind of fun. A lot of screenshots of people riding them around, and the Free Company. We were all bouncing around the house in our mounts for a little while, goofing off. So, but you're right. It was a little bit. It did take a little bit. In fact, when I was doing it, I'm like, I am not doing this on my alt. I did actually do it on my alt. I take it back because I have an alt that hasn't done. I did it on my alt that's only just past Titan.
Okay.
Right? So I wanted to see what letters they would be shown. And they were the appropriate letters for that character. They did not show me any that would have spoiled anything.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah. I figured it would, but I
haven't done the letters portion yet. I know what to expect. Yeah, is it all Gridanians or is it people from across the realm?
It's all across the realms, yeah. There's actually quite a few of them.
Very cool.
But I liked them well enough. But, there were people who were like, do I have to read all the letters? And it's like, no, you do not have to read all the letters.
And you don't get tokens to have to get the items. Once you get them out, I think even prior to that, but once you get them out, you're done.
You're done.
But you can just go to that merchant and buy these other items. I haven't put any in my home yet. I think I bought like 2 of each of everything. I did put the trees out front of my house because they look so nice.
They are nice looking. One of our neighbors by the Free Company put out a whole yard full of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that the little fireworks that were in the box, I don't even mind that they were fireworks, but they were just numbers. They were so ugly.
What's the fucking point of that? Are you supposed to line up your best friends and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then a 0? What the fuck's a 0? I don't know.
I sold them to a vendor. That was too many stacks of fireworks. That
if you're looking for bloat, Yoshida, you found it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I didn't find those necessary, I guess. I don't know. I'm not complaining, really. I was just like, why these? Because they're not even cool.
Yeah, they could have done like Christmas cookies or something in different, like do something different in the box, and we would go, oh, well, it's another crap item. Well, maybe this one will be the mount. Well, maybe this one. I mean, it was clear to me when you got the 5 for the first box and the 4 for the second box, and there's 3 more boxes left. And I passed 2nd grade mathematics.
You knew what it was going to be.
I knew what was going to happen. So there was no suspense. If it had been like a food item and then a firework and then
I would have taken like some cookies or something. Sure. At least they would have been, a food buff, I guess. But
I need some Mrs. Freshley's for that 4%.
I need that 4%. That probably would have gone over pretty well, actually. It was just like, it's like 5 stacks of fireworks that I don't know what to do with.
Take them to Doma.
There you go.
I heard you guys are looking for some items.
Some items to throw away for almost nothing. No, I'm not complaining. It was just a little bit baffling to me what the point of them was. So, but I thought it was a little, like you said, it was a little longer than I thought it would have to be, and it was really just run to a spot and talk to a guy, run to a spot and talk to a guy.
That was to make up for no All Saints Day. Or whatever it is. All Hallows Eve, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
All Saints Wake.
All Saints Wake. But go do it. Get your silly snowman mount. It's worth getting the mount at least. And the story is kind of cute.
True.
Or if you feel like spending money on the Mog Shop, presenting new optional items in winter sale starting December 14th. They've marked down a whole bunch of stuff to 30%. They had an error at one point. Apparently people weren't getting the right price when they were checking out. I think they've done the refunds now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was some problem.
Well, this shit caused quite a stir because it also crashed the site when it came out. There was there were so many people, I believe, trying to buy these new items.
Well, I know a lot of people bought these school uniforms, which I don't care for, but okay.
It's for my RP, and don't ask any questions, okay?
I don't know. I don't understand. We had a gobble wreath up on our house, the one in this picture, all year round. I saw it. I never took it down. I just left it there. And I think Cinna did too.
Yeah, we have them in our house. It probably is Cinna's because we have 3 that are just hanging up on the wall for no good reason.
So, some cute stuff there. Let's see. Oh, we do. I have to talk to Ulf. Invite friends back with the callback campaign. And the reason I have to invite him back is so his house just got demolished, and I want his gill. So I think as a good husband, he should come back in the callback campaign and get his gill and trade it to me.
Indeed.
Oh, and my cat's being an asshole, knocking cups over.
I just see Peg Bundy with her hand out in front of Al.
You're dating yourself. Callback campaign. Starts Wednesday, December 23rd to Wednesday, January 13th. And you can from the friends list, you can click on somebody, right click on them and be like, invite friend to return, and it sends them an email. But you have to have been inactive for at least 90 days. So, and they must have purchased and registered Final Fantasy XIV to their service account. So, you do get gold chocobo feathers to buy some pretty cool things. A lot of the cool ones are these mounts.
For sure.
And then if you do come back, you get free play, Aetheryte tickets, silver chocobo feathers, which are kind of nice to get caught out. And all those things are tradable to Calamity Salvagers in the 3 major cities. So, if you know somebody who hasn't played in a while, you can harass them to come back and play. All right, that was it for the minor news. Now we have, of course, the big news, which is patch 5.4, which already feels like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it kind of is. Well, like we recorded, I think the night
the third,
the preliminary patch notes came out, and we digested that fairly quickly, and then the patch came out soon after, and things have happened. But we've gotten at least 2 weeks of play. We have started the 3rd week of patch 5.4. Shit melted. The E12S crew, annihilated that. I don't even remember who was world first now. I'll have to look that up while we're recording. But that went down pretty quick, I believe. And yeah, so 5.4, Yelta, what do you think?
It was a patch.
It was a patch.
There was a lot of stuff in it. They've gotten pretty good at putting a little bit of everything in there. So we had, of course, the new main scenario, which was okay. I mean, there was... we're doing no spoilers, right? So important things happened, but I just didn't find some of it that interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to be spoiler-lite because we are on week 3, but I'm trying not to throw everything out. As far as spoilers and like shit that people are probably caring about post 5.3, it's very light on that. I feel like that's that last chunk. We all know who Fandaniel is, so that's not a big spoiler. So Fandaniel reappearing and doing some monologuing and telling us, how he's the crazy son of a bitch and, whatever. Great. It sets us up for, whatever. He puts some towers out. We have, not a big spoiler there. We saw that in the trailer.
Yeah, those aren't a spoiler.
There's multiple towers out, and but that to me, which is the continuation kind of the 5.3 stuff. It's not really, but it's having to do with Asians. Is really just that tail end. It has a lot to do with Limsa Lominsa, and it really has a lot to do with cleaning up some 1.0 loose ends. Mm-hmm. Some characters we didn't see, some pirate chiefs that we haven't seen in a while, and I don't really know why. Forgive me. I don't really know why the Admiral had to put her dick on the table to show everybody what's going on.
Some people were, I did catch some social media, and some people were just losing their minds how much they love that, and I'm like...
I love it. I think she's great. I think the Admiral is fantastic. I just didn't understand the pivot in dialogue. I mean, there's three things that kind of go on with this patch. You've got and I don't think this is terribly spoilery, but you've got the stuff that's going on with the Tempered. You've got the stuff that's going on with Limsa Lominsa and getting the pirates in line. And you've got stuff that's leading us into what the Asians are doing next in Garlemald. All right. So we save that shit for the end, the Garlemald shit. And I feel like a lot of this, if it wasn't talking about, what are we doing with the Tempered and how are we getting around this, was this pirate stuff that I guess it was necessary for the 1.0, but this is so low on my 1.0 cleanup list.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was interesting. I just kind of expected more, I guess.
Right. And, I guess I already knew that the Admiral had the biggest dick in the land because of those early cutscenes where she's dodging daggers and grabbing them and flinging them back at the dude, throwing them. And, I already knew she was a badass. It's cool that she went out and she's kind of doing this thing and we're all, kumbayaing across Eorzea. I'm just waiting to see, what's the kumbaya for? Why are we joining forces with the Beast, man? Why is everybody trying to get hunky-dory? Are we getting to, are we trying to make Eorzea a clean, happy place because we're moving on to other shards? Is that what it's about? Are we trying to tie up all of Eorzea's loose ends? Because there's, a lot more to do on Hydaelyn, I don't know.
There's entire other continents that we have talked about and haven't visited.
I won't get too speculative. It's just I'm just not understanding what all that part was about just yet. But I guess it's one of those, maybe that long game foreshadowing.
Yeah, it might be.
It
kind of felt like a build-up
it must be the very beginning of a build-up because it just felt a little out of place. I'm glad. Again, I will watch the Admiral kick ass any day of the week, but it's I don't know. Otherwise, I thought it was great. I thought it was good. I thought it was good storytelling. I thought it was, it's what it's going to be, a 5.4, a 4.4, a 3.4. Yeah. All of those get into we're going to tell you what's going to be kind of coming up next. And here's a bunch of quality of life stuff we're going to start unloading on you at the end. And there was a lot of other stuff to do. So this isn't actually even what I started with. We'll get to that in a little bit. This was secondary to me to some other story that I thought was actually more important to see and where we would go in 6.0.
Yeah, well, and that's, maybe that's why I think I expected the main scenario to touch that stuff. Yeah. But instead so doing the main scenario first, I was kind of like, huh? Mm-hmm. So, but I did, all of that stuff was happening while this other stuff was happening. So we have the Chronicles of a New Era with the, the weapons, the Sorrow of World. Right. And I enjoyed that. I have people I hate now even more than I did when they were just creepy.
Right. Yeah, this is, now we're seeing the face of creepiness incarnate. And we're learning more about what's really going on. I think if they had loosened the chains on some of the storytelling here, this guy is probably a really, really bad guy. Let your imagination go wild, and I think this guy is a really, really sick fuck. And I think he's going to get his just desserts at the end, but how long we're going to let this guy run, I don't know, because I still like having some people that I loathe in Garlemald, and I don't want to just clean up every single one of them super quick.
I'm so scared they're just going to put a bow on Garlemald and be like, it's over.
Yeah, or Dalamud it or something, they'll be like, oh shit, we blew the whole
Sounds like they
fucking place
Dalamuded
up.
themselves almost, though.
Yeah,
the
for
story,
sure.
they're just kind of fighting.
But think about it. Think about if we had that whole continent and it was all misted this time, and then instead of giving us Ishgard, they had just blown Ishgard off the map. Instead of giving us Garlemald, they just say like, oh fuck, yeah, a different Asian or a different Allegan something or another hit it, and yeah, so you're going to a different shard. Enjoy. Yeah, wait and see. But anyway, I like this Emerald storyline. I like having somebody really nasty to loathe, this milk drinking freak. And I do like that, this is Gaius's pain. It's not enough that we blew him out of Ultima Weapon and he's on this quest to kill Asians. He's watching his children kill themselves in front of him for some higher cause that he wants them to quit this cause, and it's painful to watch that, so it's a good storyline.
I quite enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the normal mode fight. I thought it was a pretty fun. It wasn't very hard.
Yeah,
but I think it was fun.
I ran everything blind, and most of it I don't think I ran with you guys. I think I just jumped in when I could and tried to knock it out, so I'd have this stuff cleared within the first week. And I don't remember having too much difficulty on this fight. It's if you know how to read telegraphs on normal type of things, this is pretty self-explanatory. Yeah,
it wasn't too bad. And then Eden was interesting. What happened? I have to remember.
This is Final Fantasy VIII. Eden is the story of Final Fantasy VIII, and they really brought this to a head.
I don't think I got that far in 8, so I don't remember. I don't understand any of the stuff that's
this is basically the end of 8, and it's really actually brilliant storytelling without ripping off 8, because they gender swapped roles in this. Before we get started, there was the big controversy. Can we call it a controversy? I don't think it's a controversy, but the big stuff with the picture for 5.4 with Gaia and Reen holding hands, and representation and all of that. And while good, and people do have headcanons, this story did not fit that headcanon.
They were just girlfriends in the non-sexual way. I really don't think there's a romantic. I don't think there'd be a problem if there was, but have not picked that up personally. But
in your headcanon, you can make them do what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
We're not even going to get into the subject of minors. We're just going to go into. You can think what you want to think, but the storytelling does not go along with a lot of the fan theories that had came out from just seeing the poster for 5.4. So I say that because here are the roles that align with the Final Fantasy VIII stuff. And Eden, in the Eden storyline, Eden herself is Squall. I mean, you can kind of see that because of the dark, because Squall's moody or whatever. But they did do the gender swap on that, and but it's almost like it's not, because she's also Ultimacia in a sense. When you do the E11 fight, and you fight that person, I guess that's kind of getting spoilery, but that person becomes like the Renoa that has lost their loved one, because it's not a love triangle, it's more of like a love triangle but time, one is frozen in time and the other goes on and dies. And then when that one gets resurrected, that one gets frozen, the other one goes on and dies. And then they don't have their sync, these two eternal beings. But these two are in love. If you go back and watch a cutscene with some Asian crystals, if you see these two crystals, you will see they overlay on top of each other. It's a very, very interesting that they have built this romance across time, and the lore has kind of backed that up. So, again, sorry people who have a headcanon from the poster. Not that your headcanon is bad. It's just not the story that they told. It doesn't fit. So this is about two star-crossed lovers, if you will. But the end of it is a representation of what happened in Final Fantasy VIII. The walking around in nothingness and all that is basically Squall's story. So pretty neat homage to 8. I had one that jumped out of me that I thought was amazing. Was one of the quest names is called Where I Belong, and it's actually the name of the song that's playing when you're doing the cutscenes in that. It's a derived song from the major theme of the game, the Eyes on Me theme. Ami, I guess technically is the song, but like Where I Belong is one of them that follows that same trope, that same music. So anyway, I thought that was a funny little Easter egg. I'm sure Koji Fox put that in there. But it was a very nice homage to Final Fantasy VIII. I thought it was a beautiful way of doing it without shoving, Squall Leonhardt and Renoa Hartley and all those people, just shoving them in our face. And it's not Lightning showing up. It's like, what dimension am I in? The Dissidia shit, it doesn't play all the time. It's cool every once in a while, but I can see Shantoto doing it. Somebody as powerful as Shantoto ripping a hole and coming through something or whatever. But
and Greg. I mean, these things do happen and exist in the game.
Yeah, if it's part of the lore.
I just don't like it when it's used constantly, I guess.
Right. You just can't. It's,
I prefer it to be like a retelling of a similar story instead of a direct.
Right. I felt that the story for Eden, though, with the Asians and all the stuff that it's referring to, especially that second boss, this fits more with the role quest story that we'll talk about soon, that I think is more pivotal to the 6.0 storyline than the main scenario was. So for me, Eden and the role quest were the high points because they told the story I wanted to have told. Yep,
that's I think where my disappointment in the main scenario wasn't so much what they told us, is what my assumptions, right? I don't think there was anything wrong with the main scenario. It's just they told the story in different parts of the game than I was expecting.
Yeah, and I guess I get why they, Eden now is part of it. Like, you have to clear it to move on or whatever. It's part of the story. It's going to be a huge part of the story. I am fascinated and am in love with the storytelling of the Shadowkeeper. But I will save that till we get to the role quest stuff.
Yes.
Let's continue.
I also, the next in the notes was the Jorja Dark Apocalypse. It's just a quick... It's just a quest. It's just kind of, I guess, reminding us that Jorja exists and to look forward to it. Yeah.
The only takeaway from this that I saw people relating, because I didn't know this, is there's a big ball of light that apparently this is seen in near games as some creator of destruction or something. The bad things happen when you go into this ball of light or whatever. So there's your foreshadowing for what happens next.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play enough of those games to know that. But all right, they added new role quests, and I just kind of expected a little bit more story, but there was a lot here.
Boy, howdy!
And it's listed as a new role quest, and under it listed new side story quests, but they're really related to the role quest. They're really, I think it's really all the role quest, but some of it just it was just kind of what I expected, and at the same time, I was just really, really excited to see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Agreed. This did not feel like two separate things. Why the patch notes divides this, I don't know. It felt like wham bam, a chain of 4 quests. And they are very important quests to where I believe the story will be going in 6.0. So much that I urge you, if you have not done 4 role quests, you need to do all 4 of your role quests and unlock this stuff. This is good storytelling. But trying to stay as spoiler free as possible. The one thing I will say that has really jumped out at me between all of this, and it could be something I hope, is that there's a storytelling in Final Fantasy XIV about the Shadow Keeper, who is where the Warriors of Light on the first fought the Shadow Keeper, and in the defeat of the Shadow Keeper. This isn't spoilers. This is lore from 5.0.
It's already been told to us, yeah.
This is already told to us in 5.0. And when the Warriors of Light defeated the Shadow Keeper, this is the beginning of the Flood of Light. They went too far. They destroyed darkness too far. And the Flood of Light began after that moment. And that's when they had to, intervene and go to the source and get, all that shit starts going down. So I have been intrigued with the story since we have learned that, that area that is in, that purpley area, the source, is the area that the Shadow Keeper was. And this has always intrigued me about who they were and what they were. And then, the role quests tell you much about what that is. My point is the Shadow Keeper, or the figure that is the Shadow Keeper, is told something in the storyline and is called the Storyteller at the end of it. This individual has declared the Storyteller, from the Shadow Keeper to the Storyteller. And I am reminded of Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah.
Where the big bad, the Shadow Lord, was once the Tail Keeper. So the Shadow Lord, who was the Tail Keeper, went from good to bad. We have an individual who is the Shadow Keeper to the Storyteller. Another tail person, another story holder from Shadow. And I know the Shadow is huge in this storyline. I know the 13th is huge in this storyline. And I know we are discovering a lot more about the 13th than we knew, has been around us longer than we have known. And I have always said, I think we could probably go back and listen to episodes we've talked about the Void Arc. Right. I loved the Void Arc because to me it was something new, but there was always something 11-y about Void Arc to me. And I can't put my finger on. I don't know what I had felt at the time. I just really get some. I'm not saying we're going to Vanadil. I know Yoshida has joked about that before. I'm not saying we're going to Vanadil. I'm just saying I'm feeling like we are going to have some more 11 elements as we go into 6.0. And I'm putting money on some 13th action on for 6.0. I just really believe that we are going to see a lot more from the 13th as we go there. But I feel like that's the most I can say without giving too much away about this storyline. I
killed the Shadow Lord in 11, so I should be able to handle whatever they throw at us.
Well, for sure, for sure. And you get into 11, you get into all the crazy stuff with like different timelines. Like, is this the one with the Shadow Lord won, or is this the one where the Shadow Lord won 50 years ago? Not when we were there. And there's all these divergent timelines and stuff. And we've already goofed with that. There very well could be, a super Asian. So this is way in the far-flung future. But if they really got bored, you could always bring back the 3 Asians and say, yeah, they won in that other timeline. So, you've got the Asians are resurrected and make it an ultimate fight. Just... us versus super Asians or something, Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, I really loved the role quest stuff. I think this was super insightful to what the future is for our warriors and for some friends of ours too. We can get some closure on some storylines. It was important when Yoshida said, "Do your your Heavensward stuff. Make sure you do your Heavensward stuff. Make sure you do your Warring Triad." There was a reason they made you do the Warring Triad quest before you took on these final role quests here. So, be advised.
All right. They also added a whole bunch of stuff to New Game Plus. I'm not going to read it all.
Yeah, there was a bug. Somebody had a bug where, like, it was some Shadowbringers content. Something wasn't working, and they were going to look into it. Maybe that got hotfixed already.
Okay. Treasure hunt. Did you do any treasure maps?
No, not yet.
I did. I joined a pug, saw it on the party finder, and hopped in. It's like the first week. We did get these shifting oubliettes, and we got all the way to the final one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get anything good out of it, but it was just enjoyable to go. It's the roulette wheel. It's very much like the other roulette wheel, but I think that's what we expected and what we honestly wanted.
Yeah. I like that mode.
So, yeah, I like that mode. I like that there's a variety of modes. You do treasure. There's a lot of RNG in doing treasure maps, and it's enjoyable for me.
That's what we always wanted. Just RNG us, baby.
All right. And they've adjusted rewards from the maps themselves and from the dungeons of the whatever. Right. They added a cute new house for the Grand Companies. It's kind of a cute little exterior.
That's adorable.
I don't know what it's supposed to be. It looks like is it a flower shop? It's like flowers.
Yeah, I looked really fast. I was like, gingerbread? But no, this is just very
I think
flowery.
It's flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, they added new stuff to Sub-Aquatic Voyages. I don't know if we're voyaging them yet. Probably. Belle usually keeps us going on those submarines. So they did re-implement the auto-demolition timer, so the countdown is over for some people. No, my husband. He was waiting for that to happen. So, yeah, if you haven't checked your house, you best go to it. Furnishings from the Final Fantasy XIV Furnishing Design Contest, they have been added. There's some cute stuff here. This lamp is adorable. There's a lot of this like sugar cookies.
That is cute.
Pan is cute. Those are like cacti?
Yeah, cactus and Moogles.
I mean, that's adorable. And there's that milk jug. You can have your own milk.
Oh.
I like this layout, this light. It looks like a very fairy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Light fixture. I might have to go find where that comes from.
Was it pre-podcast I was talking about it's time for me to reorganize my house? I got to do that. Maybe it was.
I don't remember if we were recording or not, but yes.
But I do.
The decoration.
If this is the
my
second
house needs
time.
Decorating. Your house needs decorating. I might just pull everything out of it or I don't know. I get stuck I'm at a loss, but I also don't want someone else to do it. And I've had people be like, get whoever to do it. They'll give them some gil. They'll, decorate your house. And I'm like, but then it'll just be like me living in someone else's idea. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. All right. They've added new furnishings. There's a lot going on in this picture. Mm-hmm. There's the display cases are gorgeous. Yes. I love that poster. That looks like it's the astral and umbral and all the elements. I might need that.
I need an expert on that, to be quite honest. I have read forum posts. I go to the official forums every day. God rest my soul. And I don't get in arguments because the one thing I do this at work. God rest my soul and job, whatever. I need help. But I go in the forums and I can't comment, but I see people fight about the elements. And because of the changes that happened in Shadowbringers, I think there's just a lot of people confused, and it confuses me on what the difference between the astral and the umbral
the astral and the umbral and what that
because
we thought one was rest and the other was speed.
Because I think this is the old poster that's here because it's got the.
I didn't look at it closely.
It's got the triangles, and the triangles aren't really because now you can cut it in half. I don't know. We got to get like an Anonymous or something.
We'll have to ask.
Come tell us. Koji Fox on the next episode.
Is that a Gabu planter with something coming out of it that's a lamp? I need that. That's really cute.
In the top picture or the bottom picture?
The top picture with the right next on the table next to the poster.
Yes.
That's cute. We have one of these tankards came back from somewhere. That's on that. Somebody claimed it, I think.
Oh, adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also saw a post recently about how do you display weapons, and there's like a glitch. You can do like some partition glitch with a mannequin that's only displaying a weapon on their back and make it glitch through the wall. But like, what we needed is these display cases. Like, it would be bad to the bone if you can adjust these in some way, like change the shield or whatever you've got. I doubt it for these, but only mannequins, cool. I think you can have that kind of functionality.
It'd be cool. I'd like just a weapon rack.
Well, wouldn't it be neat if instead of just the mannequin, you also had, like, they allowed the display rack to do that sort of function? Like, you could turn off the sales function, but still swap it up like a retainer. Yes, it takes up one of your retainer spaces, but who's to say that somebody wouldn't pay for an extra retainer just to have a display case in their house? I don't know. Stranger things have been done.
Yeah, I might have to look into what these display cases are kind of cool. And they show them on the outside of the house, too, with different items displayed. Mm-hmm. Of course, they added new orchestrion roles. They've adjusted some of the names, or some of the descriptions of some of the orchestrion roles to prevent spoilers. That's cool. They added new aquarium fish. I haven't seen any of them yet. Mm-mm. I got Kohede grew some of the new seeds, the carnation seeds, and provided me with the new jewelry is earrings. I have a purple flower earring, and I love it. All right, Mandeville Gold Saucer. The change we've all been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
The restriction on the number of 3. Yeah, we already talked about this.
This didn't change anything.
It did nothing for me. This did nothing for me.
The next change did not bother me at all. It's actually kind of neat to, like, when I...
A longer timer?
Yeah, because, every once in a while I get up and make a drink or something,
Oh, yeah.
And
let me go run to the bathroom.
I don't care how long
in a minute and a half.
Yeah, I don't care how long that little ticker ticks down or whatever. I don't like it playing the card for me. So, like, yeah, let me go take a whiz real quick and come back and get this part figured out. So yeah, that's been okay. I've played a little bit of Triple Triad. Now there was a night that I noped out because I had to go to bed, but you guys did the draft. You did play it a little bit. So how did that go?
That went really well. I don't know how it works. Belle Dandy invited us to a party and set it all up, and it teleports you to a room, and you can see the person you're like a first person view. You can see the person you're playing against, and it since it's draft, you have access to all the cards. I think I just did recommended or something. And then it takes care of all the scoring and the ranking, and you play different people, and then it tells you who won and who came in second and everything. It was pretty cool. I could see there's been some talk about doing it more in the future, and maybe like we get a lot of like spoils from the airships and stuff that are sitting in the box and everyone's too scared to go grab or ask for. So maybe we just have to like have some contests or something, and Belle Dandy would like to run Triple Triad tournaments. Mm-hmm. These little that might be a fun way to distribute some of our goodies.
That's right.
And it's fun. We quite liked it. Yeah, and this goes through building the deck. You can choose your cards from these different sets.
I was offended that this bottom picture where it had the match opponents threw in my face the Cess.
They did not adjust those, is my understanding. Mm-hmm. I see it. But yeah, no, that was fun. I love this one a little further down. The Triple Triad card list has been revamped. I love this. I now can see in order what cards I'm missing. I actually played Triple Triad for a few hours, just going through and getting cards. Now, mind you, one of the things I noticed when doing this is just because it said it comes from the gold pack at the Gold Saucer, that's not necessarily the only place. So I went and still looked them up on a third-party site and found that I could also get it because I bought 50 gold packs and didn't get it. And I'm like, fuck it. And I looked it up and I'm like, okay, it also comes from, Bob or whatever. So I went and played Bob forever. But, yeah, mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Nice to have, yeah. Yeah. I did the Idle Imperial, the one in Azislaw. I went and played him for a really long time. Yeah. I think so, yeah. Because it was one of those that also comes from the Imperial deck or whatever. And I bought like 10 of those and I'm like, nope. But I blew all my MGP buying something. Oh, I bought the Angel Wings. Yeah. And then I noticed there's a similarity between those Angel Wings and how they work. And the if you buy that Ultima statue, you get that emote. That's where those wings come from. They built those wings for that emote, I bet. And then now they've repackaged them as the Angel Wings. Yeah, I studied it. It's the same thing. But no, I liked the triple triad changes. I actually use this too. I don't know. I hate building decks, so this new thing helped me a lot when I wanted to find cards that were weighted, north and west. This now lets me fucking do that. I want to find a 3-star card that's weighted north and west. You can pick your priorities, and I was able to figure out how to build a couple of decks I needed to defeat specific NPCs that way. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. Is Squall the one with an ace on the right side and the bottom? That's the one I use in my deck too. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I don't play it a ton. I do enjoy it when I do play it, but it's very much something I do while I'm waiting for something. A lot of times I have to wait for a queue or something, or I just have to kill a few minutes. I don't usually just sometimes I do decide I really need some new cards, so I do it a whole bunch. Yeah, once in a while. I have not done this yet. They did make the quick matches for Dome and Mahjong, but I have not done a quick match. I would like to, but I have not. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We got some miscellaneous stuff. Most of this is all just stuff we've already done. We've already covered in the notes. Oh, they did add the Naval Unreal instead of Shiva. I did go one night. We didn't even clear. Yeah, but we didn't go for very long. But we got to the point where there's ads, but so many of them hadn't done. Yeah, back in the day. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. It's very chaotic. You have to do the mechanics and you have to hold the bomb. Yeah. And some people were not getting his pushback because you have to tank him next to the edge. You have to dodge the bombs properly. Everybody else has to stack right on his ass. And yes, you can use the pushback mitigation, but it's not always up for every pushback, I don't think. So, yeah, it was, and again, you fall, and they kept it in, where if you fall off the edge, you're done. That's I don't think the landslide, just when he pounds, yeah, I don't think it's the landslide, because I think that's standing in an AoE. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of frustrated people but I also think we were having a bad ping day, so I think some people might have been, that's again, I don't think we probably could have played it for another hour and won it, but all right. Well, and there's no halfway point in that fight either, right? So it's not like some of the newer EXs where you get somewhere and then now you just have to fight the second half of the fight. You're in there, you've only got I think they only made it, it's not a 2-hour timer or whatever some of the other stuff gets. It's just 60 minutes or something. I can't remember. Yeah. But anyway, it was fun. I'm looking forward to getting in there and doing it some more. They did also change, and thank God, because I didn't even want to do Fox Hollows anymore because the rewards are so low and it takes so long to actually grind out. And there's a weekly lockout, so it's like, ugh. They did make it so the dual blades give you 15 instead of 5. The gift box gives you 25 instead of 10, and the coffer gives you 35 instead of 20. That's still going to take you a god awful time to get everything. But I think it's a new mount. I don't remember now. I don't even know if I looked. Yeah, I think so. But a lot of people are like, but I can also get the old one from Chloe. So why? Okay, let's see. Ba-ba. They have added violin, viola, cello, and double bass for the instruments for the perform, which is cool. They did add a challenge log objective for an open tournament for Triple Triad, and that's 3,000 MGP a week. They added a new emote. I don't even know where that comes from now that I think about it. It's just the paint. It's the paint that you do in that old... Yeah, with the paintings. They did give us all a new idle stance. We all can stand with our hands on our hips now. It's kind of cute. They made a bunch of battle system changes. I've heard monks whine. Well, maybe they have a right to. I have no idea.
I've heard half and half. I have actually seen this split down the middle on the official forums. There are many who said it stole the soul from monk. And by soul, some have defined that as... You mean the, needless button pushes and trying to keep your grease lightning up and all that.
Yeah.
The positional stayed, so it's not like they didn't gut it completely.
They didn't gut that.
But it's the grease lightning is now a trait instead of like you having to build the stacks of it. Mm-hmm. And so things were adjusted accordingly. And so some things that didn't have much use got a little more use, and some things are like, what the fuck do I use this for now? So I think the ultimate deal is for those that are frustrated that it has gutted / simplified / lost some sort of identity. I don't know that there's any hope for you. I don't really know like that it's going to go back to any kind of like complication to give it back an identity. Maybe in 6.0 there'll be some new way that they fix it to make it a feeling, but I think that whatever you felt before may be gone. For those that like it, I think it's probably going to change again in 6.0, but it may keep some aspects with the change, especially the trait stuff. It's the grease lightning and it's the balancing around. I don't know if it's like, it's not a damage balancing thing, but it's like the juggling of what's going on. I think for some that's considered identity, and for some the identity is considered like clunky, or it's just needless for some of it, or punishing when it doesn't need to be. So I think that's the divide. I think that's where some people are, when you say whine, they feel some identity issue is being taken away. But for some, that would be saying like, oh yeah, the identity of 1.0 Ifrit was taken away when, it wasn't a lag fest and we were having to pre-plan where we moved and things of that nature. No, I'm not saying Monk was that bad. It's just that you learned a way to play the job. You learned a difficult job, and you feel a pride or an honor in doing that, and you feel that's the soul of the job. And then when they simplify it or whatever, it feels like...
Is it the same things Black Mages went through when they made Enochian easier to keep?
I mean, I guess possibly. I still have trouble on Black Mage my own self, like not necessarily keeping Enochian up, but like, when you have to run and it's like, where in the rotation am I at? So I still have issues. To me, that didn't help me. No way, no how. I guess I can see that though. Like you lose some sort of identity. But I think juggling... I'm not a monk. I would just think that juggling Grease Lightning stacks was such a big part of the identity that you become a master of, like, this is when I use this, or I do this at this time, so I make sure my stacks carry over through this cutscene or whatever. It becomes like an art, right? And then when they completely take that out, well, then you're like, well, I lost that art. I was good. I knew that timing of how to do that thing, and they've changed it now where it's not. My impressive skill is not impressive anymore. Therefore, the identity is gone. I'm not arguing with that. That's just how I see it.
No, I can see it. Yeah.
I don't think the rest of the changes made to any of the other jobs were that devastating. I don't know. Scholars, I have heard a lot of from scholars because of energy drain. It's what's the messaging behind energy drain? When you make the potency low, like you're trying to dissuade the use of energy drain, but people are gonna still DPS. It's that, are you trying to keep me from DPSing? Are you nerfing my cleric stance? Are you that's... And then you get, I've seen all those arguments again too. The identity of healers is a consistent thread on the forums. What is going to happen with healers in 6.0, and what is the identity / balancing of healers? And scholars are feeling that identity loss in many areas. This change did not help.
All right, there was more stuff, but geez. Okay, let's talk about the new dungeon.
Okay.
Matoya's. What did you think of the new dungeon?
Okay, let me tell you about the stuff I liked. I like that you kind of start in the boss room. I liked that it kind of looped around. I guess I like that it's fast, for the sake of soulless loot tunnels, loot holes, whatever we call them. Soulless loot tunnels. I liked, I like the end where you could see all the pictures of the Final Fantasy 1 characters on the walls.
Yeah, somebody had to point that out to me. I hadn't noticed it the one time I had been in.
That's about it.
Cool.
It's a soulless loot tunnel. It's got some quirky music that kind of sounds like circus music and like Halloween music. And, it's Matoya light. It's just a bunch of following frogs around. I find myself, if I'm not like sprinting, like this dungeon's over before I know it. It's like a 15-minute dungeon.
It's really fast. Yeah.
The tank will sprint ahead so fast that I'm not even getting my dots clouding on everything before they get to the end. Usually I'll dot one and then bane it, and then on that first group, and then they get to the second group. Some of these don't even have two groups. You just kind of like, it's a couple speckled mobs, and then you go to the end, and I'm like dotting these couple of mobs going, oh fuck, there's a wall right here. It just feels very like empty. It's just nothing to it.
There's not a lot to it. Yeah.
It is candy.
It is very candy. Yeah, I thought it was kind of fine. I thought the mechanics of the bosses were pretty straightforward and easy. None of them were real hard. I think the second time I ran it, somebody, after they died like 3 times, the guy that creates the mud balls. Oh. They couldn't figure out to put their mud ball into an empty hole.
The big line doesn't help you. The big line that and the ball rolling over you, and the big
when
tunnel.
You zone in,
I guess so.
There's a bunch of mud balls next to holes, and then the mud balls get sucked into a hole. So it's already told you what you have to do. And occasionally there are mud men in the holes, so you can't put the balls there.
I want to say one thing. This isn't about this dungeon, but it's about zooming out. Is that E10S fight, or the E10 fight? What the fuck? You can hardly zoom out far enough to see what the shadows and all that stuff is doing. I have some serious issues I don't have any third-party thing to do the zoom out stuff.
Oh, that's that wolf that makes shadows or whatever the fuck he is.
Very hard to zoom out.
I don't like that fight.
Very hard to zoom.
I conceptually understand it, and I understand that his shadow casts it, but it's the way he's facing. But I still have a little bit of trouble seeing what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I do better with the math robot than I do that guy. But, it's only week 3. I'll watch a Mistake video or something. Well,
They patched something in there, too.
It's probably not any. She just had a baby. Congratulations, Mistake. But, yes, anyway. Yeah. They patched something with that fight?
I thought that was in some of the notes that they patched something in there.
They got rid of the shadows.
No, I didn't find it any easier after the patch, but... What were the bosses again? What was the first one? The first one was Darkness, World of Darkness.
Right. And then...
Her fight was pretty straightforward, I thought.
Right. And the second one was the dog. And then the third one is a mix between Ultimacia and Squall or Cloud or something, it looks like to me. The dude. He's done a bunch of
Oh,
slashing.
no, that's the mix between Thancred and Jung, whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's her
my
daddy.
two dads.
It's her daddy issues.
Yeah.
That one's daddy issues.
And then the last one is
that I know the last
puts
one.
Nofika to shame. Can't believe it. We have a new goddess now. Grape titties.
I did think it was funny that apparently girls only care about jewelry, makeup, and sweets.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but I guess, what are they supposed to be? 14-year-old girls?
Well, and lesbian relationships. According to our community.
I didn't see that in India.
According to our community.
No lesbian relationships seem to be showing up in any of those images on the...
It was the fourth crystal that you didn't get to. It was the fourth memory that we didn't get in time to jump to.
We didn't get to
That's
that
right.
one. Oh my god. All right, let's see. Oh, and then we already talked about Castor Marion and the fight. I liked it. And the EX, I need to go back in there. What else?
I love that they've got Cloud of Darkness nipples just showing right here on this new raid dungeon, Eden's Promise.
Well, it's funny too because it's really kind of also melding because they're I think they're pips from playing cards that are all over her.
Oh yeah.
There's a heart and a spade, right? Because some of that stuff had playing card pips as part of the mob design.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. You can't see it quite as well in that one. It was a different one, or maybe it was a cutscene. That image in the notes here actually doesn't look very good of her.
Mm-mm.
It's kind of weird.
She had a good model. Like, Cloud Darkness looks good.
Oh, all of this is normal stuff. I don't even know what to talk about.
Yeah, it's standard
I'm
fare.
tired now.
Like
standard patch notes.
we've got new coffers, we got new weapons, we've got new items. Go do your weekly. You're definitely going to want to do your Eden stuff every week and get unlock that and get your weapon item or whatever at the end when you do the last fight, and do that for 7 weeks so you can unlock your weapon. It's standard fare for the stuff. Cap every week, buy your items, run your savages, and those things are going to be where the accessories come out of, and the hands and head and feet. And it's rinse, wash, repeat. Don't expect a whole lot coming out of it now. The things you can start expecting are quality of life changes and more G poses and more those surprises. Hopefully we get some additions to like the friends list or something like that in the near future. And
God, wouldn't that be nice?
Maybe hopefully some good changes like that. But from here on out, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be that kind of stuff. We still have, what else do we have to look forward to? We've got more weapons, because we're going to have a new resistance weapons coming out in the 5.45, I would imagine. And is there any other game modes? Is there anything that we're missing that hasn't come out?
Do we have all the 24 mans now? No, we have
There's
one more
still
set.
one more set, yeah.
We'll have one more set.
We'll have the
24
crafting
mans.
updates. We're going to have crafting updates at like 5.41, right? We're going to have the titles and all that. Not updates like new shit, but like we're going to be competing for a title again. And so the last phase of
for the Ishgard
restoration.
Yeah. Oh, I scrolled down and I did see a change that I actually really liked. When you bring up your duty finder, the adventure need bonus is actually just an icon now.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
I just like, because I like to, whatever gets me in quick, gets me the most bonus. That I found was really, really nice. Did you try the new UI?
No, I haven't tried that yet. And I was actually
blue
just
one?
looking at the Explorer mode, and I was like, oh, I need to try that too. I haven't
tried that either.
I haven't done any Explorer. I take that back. I think I did jump into Explorer mode for like half a second and jumped out just to see what it... I think I wanted to see what a mount looked like that I had just got. And I was like, let me just jump in here real quick and pop it. But no, I haven't tried the UI yet. Oh, I haven't seen this Alliance HUD look change either, but I need to run a 24-man raid.
Yeah, I haven't pre-made one in public areas. I haven't made
the way that
an
looks.
Alliance.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hoping that they're putting some, because that was one of the first things we tried to do with Eureka. Remember that? Make an alliance, 3 parties, and you couldn't see what the fuck you were doing. It was awful.
There's that sticker mode. Come on, put those Pusheens in there.
You can link quests now from the
That's
quest
true.
journal. I thought that was kind of nice. Because people like, what quest are you on? Well, it's the blah, 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 blah. This would be easier.
I did find a bug. I reported it. I never got any information. I'm looking in the known issues. I don't know if it's in here or not. But I had unlocked a card in Triple Triad. And you know how like it'll have the pages at the top, 1 through 6 or 8 or however many cards that you have unlocked. And it'll have a green dot on the page that unlocks it, and I had a green dot on page 4. But my new card was not on page 4, it was on page 3. When I click on page 3, there's no green dot on page 3, but the actual card on page 3 has the green dot next to it that it is a new card. So I reported it. I never got any contact back from a GM or anything, but I think maybe when they did that adjustment that added the new question marks for the cards, it might have messed up.
No, maybe they didn't shift over.
It didn't shift over.
Properly.
Some, or maybe just an isolated issue for that card in particular. I don't even remember what.
Now that you say that, I thought I had a weird thing where I used a new minion that I got, and they went into the minion menu. Or maybe I was drunk and couldn't find the green dot.
You weren't drunk?
I
well,
can't.
no, you
I didn't
were,
write that
but
one up
that wasn't the reason.
I think all in all, patch 5.4 was pretty successful. I enjoyed a lot of what was in it, and I still have a little bit more to experience.
Same.
So.
I still have some EXs to do, or the EX to do. I probably won't touch Savage yet, but if there was any tier I feel like I might goof around in, at least for 5.0, it would be this one. Obviously, for parenting reasons, my 2-year-old, spend more time with him than I do rating. But if I could squeeze more time as he's getting older, because he'll be 3 soon enough, this would be the patch I would do it. And although I did hear some talk that E9S is kind of a bottleneck to some degree.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That scared me off, honestly. We've some people in the free company run a Tuesday night, just come and raid. It's not really, it's kind of a whatever level you're at, kind of join up show, but it's like.
Is that the one with the bramble patches? What's the one with the brambles?
I don't know. People are talking about strats, and I think must be a bramble.
Yeah, some confusion on what
vine
type
breaking.
of strat.
Yeah, well, because that's the one that has the purple circles that you want to stand near and then break your bramble,
right?
Your vine.
Yep.
But I don't know what the savage version is.
It's probably stand on your head at the same time, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I know there was a lot of talking of strats and stuff, but I haven't really seriously considered getting in there yet.
But it's always good to kind of get your toe in and at least get some accessories out of it.
Yeah.
Usually the 9 isn't the bottleneck, but I guess it being the last tier, maybe they made it a little tougher on the last one. But we'll see.
Well, in a lot of the raiding I've done that I've even bothered doing, I've really been happy doing like the first and second fights. Right? I can get some accessories and belts and then, maybe get some other stuff, but I just really haven't as of yet. I mean, the patch has only been out not even a month, so
we got a long way to go. We'll still have
there.
the vast wasteland between 5.0 and 6.0.
Yeah, maybe we'll have just the way vast wasteland catch up. I mean, there's still dogs or not dogs, dragons I don't have.
There's definitely dogs I don't have.
I'm behind. I'm usually behind. I'm not usually this far behind. I had to buy my ruby weapon.
Oh my gosh. What website did you go to pay for it?
Or not.
I'm kidding. I said, what website did you go to? Just kidding.
Oh no. No, I could have bought the mount twice. I had that many. I'd farmed it that much. All right, let's move on quickly. Let's do a quick What's on Tap, developers blog and tracker. There's no business like snow business. This is just, I think, covering the Happy Holidays Starlight Celebration. They go over the event period again and stuff, and they show us the characters involved, and the rewards given, and the creepy-ass snowman. We have Snowman Inception in that picture. I do need some of those trees. I need to get back in there and get back in the game and check that out.
Heard people bitching about the price of the snow on the Mog shop. that it was very expensive for what you got out of it. I don't know. All my snow I got in game. I never paid for it, but something.
Well,
like
and
it's
I only got a
yeah.
couple of the pieces of snow back when I did it. I think it's not a very big spot of snow.
It's really not.
But I'm from Minnesota, and so like right now you cannot see dirt or grass. Yeah. It is all snow. Probably can't see the road right now. But yeah, it might be. I haven't looked to see what it costs on the Mog Station. I don't think anybody even bothered putting any down. Somebody put an igloo up, but no one must have any snow. Or they're using it at their personal houses, I suppose. That would make sense. It's
magic ice that keep the snowmen from melting.
The ice crystals.
Yes, I read that in the lore.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So then the other one is, to my dear friend and comrade. This one was sad.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a sad one. I reread it before we started, and I was like, oh. This is about Mady. This is the writer for the Dead of Light project. And Mady passed from cancer December 6th, I believe, is the date that's listed here. And this is basically Yoshida penning a letter about his relationship with Mady and the last time they had talked and how that project got started. But it comes from a very personal place. This to me felt like somebody who had a couple glasses of whiskey and just started penning something. And although it's not disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I think this is very well written, and it comes from the heart. But you can tell it's got a raw emotion to it. But yeah, if you've not ever checked out Dead of Light, I urge you to check it out. It's amazing. I thought it was a very, very cool project. The show, for sure. I think that they adapt a movie or something.
I think they made a movie too, but I don't know if we ever
might have been Japan
got to
only.
see that over here on our side of the. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly I watched the show and I remember enjoying it. I think I lost track of the movie.
Yeah,
don't ever looked for it.
I remember that was that big announcement. He got on stage and it was like, "We've got a big announcement." We're like, "Oh, Yoshida's quitting. What's going on? What's going to happen?" He's like, "We're doing a movie for Dead of Light." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I don't know, but anyway, that's not to take away from this story. It's a sad thing. I can't stand death. I hate it. I hate it for Yoshida that his friend passed away. So but Dead of Light's a beautiful project, and I think it's a really cool concept to think about rekindling a relationship with somebody through a game, because many of us have built solid relationships through Final Fantasy XIV. So it's really not that far fetched of an idea.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, and also fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. Any chance you can get, fuck cancer. But, yeah. Well, here we are. At the end of the show.
All right. I think we're done. It's enough yammering about the video game. It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxiv.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. And if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plugs. Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at RubiconVale, RubiconVale.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yeltasumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.